Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 49. Now this video should be a little bit on the shorter side. We didn't get too many leaks, but the leaks we did get I am excited for. Mike also answered a couple of questions that I get all the time, and I'm gonna let him answer it in this video. Now, before we begin, I'm only gonna give you one piece of news. News that I am very excited for. We officially have a scheduled date, or I guess I have a scheduled date with a developer and an artist from 11th Hour Games for my unique creation stream. So on May 6th, which is a little under 2 weeks away, I will be streaming on my Twitch, Aaron Action RPG, and we will be creating this new unique together. Hopefully someone will be drawing it and giving some ideas when we talk through affixes and what the item is going to be all about. I can't wait, I'm excited, and you are invited to be there because I'm gonna need all of your opinion. Check out my Twitch, May 6th. All right, as always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go right now. Now for this first question, I'm gonna allow Mike to read it and give a fairly lengthy explanation. Now what I want you to key into is he gives us a little bit of a teaser, a little taste for what the Falconer is going to be like. Listen to this.
Will mirror images get more support for scaling minion build around them in the future? Possibly. One of the things, mirror images are a hotly debated mechanic in Mage in general. I love them. I think mirror images is like a key thematic style for mages. I think it's really important. It's nice. Fire damage ignite. I think it's a really key thing for mage to have as like a fantasy to do. We really don't want mages to be a pet class for the most part. That's the class identity is a big part of our game design pillars, and we want to have some classes that aren't great with minions and some classes that are great with minions, and not having that be just like okay, well, what's the mage's minion spec, what's the Primalist minion spec, what's the Sentinel's minion spec. Like we don't want that to happen. And that's why you're going to see Falconer be different than a normal minion spec, because it's not a minion spec, because we're trying not to have rogue minion spec that much. And that's why shadows are different. Like they're not like normal minions, right? Like there's these mechanics we use to make them different. And I would say that I personally would like mirror images to seem more like shadows than minions.
Okay, I'm going to stop him right there. You heard that right. Falconer is not going to be a minion spec. Now, a lot of people, me included, thought that the Falconer was going to be that minion spec for Rogue, mainly focused around Ballista, which would be freaking awesome. But it appears, Mike just said it, Falconer, minions, no. Leak number 1.
So we've got some new VFX for some old skills. That I'm going to be showing you today. So here is... I'm going to show this one first. So this is new VFX for Judgment, which is a paladin skill, and I really like the visual change. I think it's a big upgrade.
I cannot do that.
It looks so
it's like a big slam and then
much
it leaves stuff behind.
better.
I'm not going to replay. Did I not set it to loop? Oh, Mike, you suck. The other one's set to loop.
This was a skill where you never ever knew what was going on. Now it's going to be a lot easier from a visual perspective.
I'll answer the question while I got this going on. I know it's something that's been talked about in the past, but will penalty on death such as EXP loss still a consideration, or do you move away from this over time as a topic? I think there's a very low chance we will add an experience loss penalty on death at this point. It's not off the table, but I think that it's unlikely.
Yeah, don't put that
Wouldn't
in.
God.
Mike, what's your opinion of Summon Bear for Primalist? Go.
It is really old, and we've learned a lot of really good things about how to make good skills since we last worked on Primalist, Primalist Summon Bear. And it needs a lot of those principles applied to it in order to make it be not terrible.
True.
Summon Bear is high on my list of rework skills. So is Sabertooth. The visuals need to be updated for them as well. And we do a lot of work on visuals in conjunction with functionality for skills now. So we, before we updated the functionality for the skills and like get new animations and new visuals on the bear itself and Sabertooth itself, for like, say like there's like a cold note on the Sabertooth and how those visuals get applied to the Sabertooth skin. We wanted to have the most up-to-date version of that, and the version we're going to release with on that before we started making those changes. So there are clear things that will come to Sabertooth and Bear visually at the same time as functionality updates. Bone Golem's another one, same thing. It's just so we don't double up on work, because say we were to like, I know it already has a cold, Sabertooth already has cold, but like say we were to add cold to Sabertooth before going to the new model, we'd have to do that work twice to add the cold to it visually, and it's just a waste of time.
So we already knew that. I just like hearing Mike say it. Visual improvement to Golem, Sabertooth, Summon Bear, and at least tree improvements we know for Sabertooth and Bear. Maybe they'll mix up a little bit of Golem as well. Fingers crossed. Leak number 2 and my favorite for this stream. Check this out.
I'll show you another VFX update. This is the new hammer throw. So hammer throw is getting all new visual elements, not just the visuals, but also like it's called visual elements, but it encompasses the visuals and the sound as well. So there's now, we actually made a bunch of new tech for sound events just in general for hammer throw. So there's now like a unique sound for when they're rotating around you. There's a unique sound for when they start returning to you if they're in return mode, and like you catch them. There's a different sound there as well. Yeah. So there's lots of new.
Those look and sound.
I really think it's a big improvement personally.
So much better. All right, everybody, we have come to the end. I'm going to allow Mike to answer this last question to take out the stream. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing to hold your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. Like I said at the beginning, May 6th, I cannot wait to have 2 live developers from 11th Hour Games on my Twitch breaking down and creating a new unique, the action ARPG unique. I don't know what the name's going to be, but it should be a whole lot of fun. May 6th, mark your calendars. If you haven't heard, I've officially started a Patreon as well. Thank you to the first 36 people that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. Okay, that's all I've got. This next question is very important because when this change goes in, it will change a lot of the game and how you gear your character, at least melee wise, forever. So listen and pay attention. Mike, go.
About how you guys want to change how flat melee damage works to make it more like adaptive spell damage. Is that coming next patch? I don't know when that's coming. The timeline on next patch might be different than we're used to as well. I think that there's I don't know when that's coming. We don't have that in a testing state yet. We don't have a version of that we're like working on or anything like that. It's mostly theoretical at this point, but I think there's a very good chance it'll happen, and yeah, it'll just be it'll probably be worded as and spell damage with the same treatment. It'll just be like plus 10 melee damage. It won't even say adaptive. It won't even say fire or anything like that. And like we still could put fire melee damage in there. We still can do that, but a lot of implicits will switch. This is the main place we'll switch. It'll be like plus 10 bow damage instead of plus 10 physical bow damage. Just take the word physical out of there.